Only one kid in history had ever attempted what Benny was about to. And he got eaten. So we were worried. Real worried. Even when Benny brought out the secret weapon. Shoes guaranteed to make a kid run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers.
We can't let him do this, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is the Slate Laced podcast. We're happy to have you. Happy hump day, all that good news, all that good stuff. Blair, how we doing?
I mean, I've been better.
Been better?
Yeah.
You care to get into it?
I mean, the Lakers.
Do we want to go sports at the top? We want to go sports at the top. This is, real quick, guys, this is a film episode, but you want to go? We can dive into it. Nah.
You can wait. I don't know.
Nah, we're going to go Slate Laced sports at the top of the hour because it's fresh.
Yes, fresh.
Well, let me start off by just saying, welcome to the off season. You guys know, last time we spoke, well, I'm a Warriors fan, but last time we spoke, we were struggling to get past the Sacramento Kings. We happened to do that. Shout out to Steph for his big game, 50 points and a closeout. We matched up with the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think the Lakers had it in them to kind of take control and take the reins. I knew that, obviously, AD was going to be a problem, right? We got no inside presence. But I'm like, the Lakers going to find a way to muck it up.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Warriors are the Warriors. We can just we've been hit with adversity and we can kind of rise to any occasion. I was clearly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We got bounced in 6.
Mm-hmm.
It was devastating. I was pretty sick to my stomach. I had to hear some of the jokes from people over to my left. Although he claimed he didn't want to
say anything.
Blair, when Marcus, shout out to Marcus, he sent the little skit. Then you was quoting the skit. Yes, you were. It's
skit?
in the chat. The little Spring
RDC
Dreams,
World?
yeah. So
because I sent a skit means I wasn't even cracking.
But I'm just saying it was funny. It was joke.
I can't laugh at a skit.
And then, but look, all I'm saying is why we're getting to that point. But you was laughing. Everything was funny. Mm-hmm. You was like, "Oh, Sydney disrespected the Lakers."
You did. You were like,
I did. I thought I really did think we were going to get it. I really did. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, keep the same energy because then when y'all went down 3-0. I just checked in. So, anyways,
no,
we ended up.
That's
But let me go real quick. We did get bounced, so shout out to the Lakers. But while we got bounced, I was like, look, y'all are making a mistake. The Warriors are the only ones that could potentially. Look, we wasn't beating Denver either, so let me get that out there. But I'm saying we could have made it. We could have got you 2 games. I knew that y'all was gonna have trouble because Anthony Davis was not ready for that boy Joker. He just wasn't, and everyone wants to talk about the bubble. Jamal Murray did not play in the bubble. Y'all forget that. Like, we beat him in 2020. He wasn't playing. And y'all had a whole summer of rest. You had 4 months of rest in the bubble. Their off season is only like 4 months. So you had a whole off season.
But that's not how I'm viewing it.
How did you view it?
2020, you caught the Nuggets 2 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, right? So they're now entering their prime where they are a force to be reckoned with, right?
Yeah.
So I don't knock the Nuggets. I don't doubt the Nuggets. I know that they're a problem and they will eventually get a championship, right? Whether it's this year,
it's gonna be this
next year, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll get 1, but I don't think that they're going to be the team that's going to get like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Oh, heck no. This is a one and done for them.
I think that they'll get 1, but my thing is that so we caught them when they weren't quite entering their prime yet, which was perfect timing for us. Yeah. The bubble had nothing to do with it. The rest had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that might not have been your excuse, but people were saying that.
No, right? I know. Everyone's saying ours is a Mickey
Mouse. And I might have to
know.
Yeah.
But my point being is, right, so I knew going into this series was going to be tough, but I thought that honestly we could have won. But here's the thing, like if you watch the game and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if you're strictly looking at a box score, then you're not going to see what I'm talking about, right? But here's really what it is. We can't close out games. Okay, so game 1, we were down 22, I think it was. Then with about 5 minutes left, we cut it to 3. 2 minutes left, we're down 3. and then they proceed to do what they do, close the game out. Game 2, we're winning with like 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, can't close out. Game 3, we're winning, it's about the same time left, can't close out. Game 4, coming down in the same few minutes, can't close out.
I thought y'all was gonna get a game the way you look.
But that's my thing, right? So it's like, it's not like if we sit here and watch the tape, are the Nuggets better? I mean, clearly, right? But
way better.
But if you really get down to it, you see we have three games that if we just closed, then like we're talking about 3-1. Right? But the thing is that we didn't close, so I can't even really like make this up, but I'm just saying, so we were right there. And my biggest issue is that everyone's gonna knock LeBron, but here's the thing.
LeBron's
got like 25 each game, and he just finished with 40 tonight.
It ain't on him.
Now I get it, he only scored 3 in the final moments, but I can never get mad at the star player when they are willing to take the final shot of the game, and if they miss, they miss.
On the line.
Right? So everyone's like, in the comments, oh man, he should have passed it. Really? Because if he would have passed and then he would have missed, everyone would have said LeBron was too scared to take the shot. So at the end of the day, the best do what the best do when they take the shot. Win or lose, it's on you. So I'm not even mad about that, right? But it's the fact that no one showed up when we needed them most, right? Austin Reeves is essentially our best player on the team, and that's the problem, right? He is a guy that was undrafted, came to the team, and just kind of like rose up through the ranks, and now he really is the best player on our team. But that's the problem, because we have guys like D'Angelo Russell, who is currently on a milk box, and I'm currently looking for him, right?
How's that trade deadline say?
That trade deadline is not looking good.
But we're going to touch on that trade deadline, but go.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? So we had when he played against you guys, there was a game where he had 4 points, but for the most part, he did his thing. There was a game he had 31, and there was a game he had like 17, and a game he had 19, and a game he had like 15, right? But he comes into this series and goes 8, 9, 2 or 3, and then 4. You cannot be the second or third option on the team, because the whole setup was LeBron was supposed to play off the ball and no longer be the number one man with the ball, right? He was supposed to be transitioning to, I'm 38 years old and I'm going to play like I'm 38, and I'm going to pick my spots to where I'm really going to go off and go get a bucket when my team needs it, but I'm just going to give the ball to everyone else and let them do their thing. But it was so challenging this series because he would try to do that, and when he would do that, guys like Russell, who are supposed to be our all-star, is not coming through, right? And then AD, so someone said, right, and I find it to be true, right? So when there's a player that is good at one thing and that's what they do, you kind of hold them to that standard and you expect that from them, right? And if they give you something else, it's just a bonus and you're just glad, right? So when you have a guy like Kyrie Irving, right, and you know he's an offensive threat and he's doing his thing offensively and he's really scoring, right? If he gets you a few stops on D, you like, dang, I'll take that, right? Same thing with James Harden, right? He goes and gets you several buckets, and then he actually gets a couple steals and really like clamps down the best player on the floor. You just take it. So AD has always been known as a defensive animal, right? He was at Kentucky, and that's what he did. He was playing defense out of his mind. He comes into the league, he's playing defense out of his mind, and then you started to see that offense was starting to blossom, and he was starting to score points, right? And so then everyone then went and put him in this box like, oh, he's got to be like Hakeem, right? Oh, he's got to be like Shaq, right? Oh, actually, he might be better than them because he's got this like jump shot and he can low-key hit threes when need be, right? And so then now all this pressure is now put on him to like consistently score 35 to 40 all the while he's playing defense and he's locking down everybody, right? Like you can't get in the paint. You shooting a 3 ball, there's a hand in your face, and it's by him, and he's getting 5 to 6 blocks, and he's getting 15 rebounds, right? And so everyone's like, well, we need that from him, and then we also need the 40 points from him. Man, that is not easy to do, right? We do that stuff when we play 2K, right? And we're just like, yeah, like, because it seems so easy, right? So you do it there, and then you expect a grown man to then turn around and do it. But, like, this is real life, right? So when he's doing this defensively, and I think when he does really well on offense, it's just a bonus, right? And which is why the Lakers are missing about two key pieces, right? Or you have guys like Rui who will then slowly get better and better, as you can see that he is one of our best options as well, right? But you have to do some things and cut away at the fat and trim away a little bit, right? And keep obviously you have to obviously keep AD at the helm, right? But he is, again, somebody that you rely on defensively, but offensively, every now and again, he's going to do something that's going to be stellar and it's going to really surprise you, right? But he is not the priority, right? So guys like Rui, Reeves, still can't mention LeBron, and you need one more weapon, and then, some solid defense, and I think this Laker team will be tough, right? Because you're no longer expecting LeBron in year 21 and 22 and 23 to sit here and carry a squad all the way to the championship, right? So that's what I had noticed, and that is essentially why we lost to the Nuggets, right? The Nuggets hit lucky shots, yes, but also what you start to notice is man, Jokic out here looking like Dirk with that fall away, right? It's weird. The shot clock will be at 3-2, and it's like he has an idea where it is, and he'll turn and he'll just throw that thing up there. But the way his form looks, it doesn't look like he ever practices that shot, but he clearly hits it with consistency. And Murray is an animal when it comes to that mid-range, and then he also hits that step-back three as well. So, I got to flat out give them credit. They play better than us. They are better than us. I'm hoping next year that's not the case, but as far as right now, they are the better team. They flat out beat us, even though in 3 of the 4 games, we were winning down to the final minutes, and we just couldn't close. Yeah. They got closers, we don't.
No, I agree. And I think that the Lakers do have a good chance of running it back to the Western Conference Finals. I'm not even going to sit here and say that that's not true. But obviously, I'm relishing in this a little bit as a Warriors fan. I'm laughing. I don't want the Nuggets to win, nor do I want the Heat to win, nor do I want Boston to win. So, again, my season is over. But, yeah, this, I had to hear from the Laker faithful this whole time. So, to me, at least we didn't go out like that, right? But can we touch on when I knew Denver was real is when they was smacking them boys from Phoenix and just putting it on them.
Okay.
When I saw them and Devin Booker was giving legendary performance after legendary performance, they started calling this man the light-skinned Mamba. When I saw that and then Joker still put it on him, I said, you got to watch out for these boys from the Mile High City. It's going to be problematic. And that's when I literally started, texting people. I was like, yeah, it might be Denver and Heat.
See, I agree, but to a certain extent.
Go ahead, go. The Suns aren't known for defense, though. The Lakers have the number 1 D. Mm-hmm. That's why. And we're going to touch on that, too. No, you're exactly right. The Lakers did. Everyone talks about the defense. But can we give a shout-out to the lead, the GM, LeBron James, the trade deadline, Rob Pelinka. Yeah. Because LeBron, look, I don't care how much y'all want to say it's Pelinka, whatever. LeBron pulls the strings day in, and I respect this man, but it's getting irritating that he always gets to just handpick his teammates. Every year we do this same thing. I want AD, I want Kyrie. I'm tired. Can he have to just work for something? Now, granted, I'm giving him his props. What he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers and dragging that raggedy team along when we got him, and then when they came back 3-1 and got us. Look, I'm not saying that he don't work, but it's I'm tired of him, with the puppet master stuff. Because I don't think y'all don't get to the trade deadline. Y'all not in the playoffs.
No, of course not. That same team isn't going the distance. But here's the thing: is I don't think LeBron made these choices. A lot of the choices that he made are guys that he's friends with, like Melo, right? That's his choice. I think Russ, that's his choice. I think when you look at guys, those are his choices. But these aren't his choices. I think he was go get me shooters. But man,
yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying. Yeah, all that activation at the trade deadline, I mean, got y'all in the playoffs, and that was only, gonna take you so far against the Nuggets. Yeah. So shout out to the Nuggets, they were just better. But I did want to touch on the Suns because this is the second. What they did was egregious, and y'all can laugh at the Warriors all you want.
They had no bench,
but to go out like that, Blair, this is the second year in a row they got smacked by 30 in a closeout. Yeah. In a closeout game 7, Blair.
They had no bench though.
You don't go out like that.
City, I keep
you
telling
don't get mopped by Blair. It don't matter. You don't lose by 30. The minute I saw that score, I literally waved to Monty Williams. I said, "You're." I literally was like, "Bye, Monty. You're not coming back." And I like Monty Williams. It ain't on him.
Yeah.
But come on. And this is like Devin. You talking a lot ahead, and he's thinking he's somebody trying to puff out his chest these last couple seasons. Guys,
it's tough though.
He is. I literally just said it. For one. Yeah, but I'm just saying, he been puffing out his chest and talking trash a little bit too much lately and getting popped in game 7. This is now second year in a row, dude. Take a look at let's pump the brakes a little bit. But no, Devin literally he was becoming the light skinned Mamba. The way he was doing his shooting percentage from the mid range was ridiculous. Yeah. KD just didn't have it all the way. I don't know if he was super healthy, whatever it is. But no, it is the depth they gave up. They sold everybody to get KD. Like Mikal Bridges, the little light-skinned tall dude. What's his name? Don't know. Yeah. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, they gave up the farm.
Aiton just MIA as well.
Ni hao Aiton, because he's going to China. But Aiton has, said something along the lines of, "I just play for paycheck." Yeah. So he told you who he is. Mm-hmm. And when they believe you, shout out to Maya Angelou. When they show you who you are, believe them. I don't know what we're expecting from him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, my thing on Phoenix is man, y'all sold, as the kids say these days, because that was bad. And I want to touch the Lakers. That was bad. Now LeBron, I'm not even saying take the GOAT title, but he gonna have to hear this for the whole summer about, why did he get swept in the finals? What does this do to his legacy? I can guarantee you that's what they're gonna be talking about on First Take. And Shannon's gonna be fighting for his life to defend this man. Because Skip is just building and building.
But it's literally what I said. But here's the thing: is everybody keeps pulling the goalposts back, and that's what's not fair, right? You cannot be in year 20 at this level of play, continuing to do this, and you're still saying he's not the GOAT. Yeah. Year 20, there is no Michael Jordan doing this, right? Kareem is like the sixth option on his team in year 20, right? We're sitting here talking about a man that's still top 10 in the league.
Yeah, I'm not debating the GOAT. I'm just saying he's gonna now have to hear this, and I'm just saying I'm glad. With all the crap the Warriors had to take and all the crap that went on with our season, man, heartbreak truly does feel good in a place like this, because at least we didn't go out like y'all. At least we didn't go out like Phoenix. I'm just saying.
You didn't go nearly as far as we did, so yeah, you didn't.
Blair, to get swept? Steph don't get swept. We would have got a game. We would have got Blair. City. Believe me, we would have got one. So, I don't want to hear none of that. Man, so look, shout out to all the people that was...
You didn't watch the game.
Shout out to all the people that was in me. This one I followed along, the play-by-play, but I didn't watch.
I watched shot for shot. When I tell you, the first problem is that we weren't rebounding. That's the biggest thing.
And how are you not rebounding?
With AD. I know that's the problem. But so, first shot would get missed, but we wouldn't get the second and third boards, so then the second and third threes would finally fall. But I told myself after game 1, I was like, there's no way that they will continue to shoot like this. You can't shoot 60% for a whole series. And boy, was I wrong, because man, these guys do not miss, and that's crazy. I hope that this isn't a fluke, right? And they run flat once they run into Miami. You know what I mean? But it's very possible.
It's a problem.
Because once you get that hot.
Because you know who also going crazy? Timothy Butler. Okay?
I'm Team Butler right now. I'm hoping he goes and gets it.
Yeah, who wants Boston? Nobody. I'm tired of that.
I don't even want the nut. I want
at this point, whatever.
Yeah.
Give it to who y'all want, but Jimmy Butler is...
It needs to go to Jimmy. Jimmy is the very definition of...
He is a dog. And
sticking with the team even when they don't really get better.
Yeah, and the Heat are doing some just straight up dogs on the team, so they winning without this kind of superstar, quote unquote. So shout out to them. because Boston will be swept next, and they're going to go down in history as, 2 sweeps to get to the to the championship game. But man, woo, heartbreak feels good.
Okay.
Look.
And here's what I do want to say though, because I know you were touching on the Suns. Here, you remember when me and you we played 2K, right?
Yeah, because you explained this.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is why I want to say that it doesn't really work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, we both played 2K. We put it on like the higher level, so it's like a little bit more challenging, right? So, whatever, right? But point being is, you create a player, I create a player, and then we just have a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So the game usually goes something like this, right? You score like 50-something,
mm-hmm.
I score like 30-something,
mm-hmm.
get a bunch of rebounds and a bunch of assists, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have this whole back and forth, and it comes down to the final moments and stuff, right? But we win. But in reality, it doesn't work that way. When you only have 2 scorers
mm-hmm.
and you don't have a bench or any sort of depth, right? It comes into play because if one of your guys have an off night, you're literally relying on the other one to go get 70 to even be remotely in the conversation of winning the game when you're playing a team that has 8 guys that they go to mm-hmm. that easily can get you 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree with you.
And so that's what makes the Nuggets so strong and sticking to their plan throughout all these years and not really like breaking the team up, and then like you have the Suns that are like do or die, we're gonna blow the whole team up and we're only gonna run with 2. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah. No, my only thing with them is you can't get smacked by 30 in a game 7 twice in a row. That's my only thing on the Suns. You can't. You have to get a tech. Then you got to slap somebody in the face. Like, you can't have that happen. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
That's on your resume for the rest of your life. So, but anyway, it's sad. Blair, you're gonna have your time of just being a little bit hurt, but I've been in the off season in Cancun for a while now, so come join me.
I'm not. See, here's the thing. I'm not that hurt.
Yeah, because you're not even really.
No. I'm a Laker fan, right? But the thing is that going into the season, I had no expectation, right?
Yeah, and we'll touch on that.
And then after 10 games, we were 2-10, had no expectation. Then we were 5-15, had no expectation, right? Then
I'm so glad he's bringing this up.
Then we ended up being like, 20-32. How can I have an expectation of going to the championship when we're down at the bottom with the Rockets and the Spurs, right? Like, that's the reality, right? So in my mind, we're third best or third worst in the Western Conference, right? So when we made this run, it was unprecedented, right? It was just unheard of to Sydney to
keep going, please.
Like we made. We got in through the play-in. We came in as a 7 seed. So if we're over here losing to a 1 seed, right? Like, are we really supposed to be like, man, there go Braun again in year 20. I can't believe it. He's just a choker. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. We were the 7th seed. We shouldn't even be where we are right now,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes. But okay, all of that, whatever. At the end of the day, check the tape. Defense wins championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we got as far as we did. Us hustling and really giving our effort really did it. And you can still check the tape. We did do it a lot in this Nuggets game, but they just hit tougher shots
mm-hmm.
when we were playing defense, right? What does Mark Jackson always say? Man, great defense, but that's just better offense,
mm-hmm.
right? That's just great really what it is, man. Game one. I literally say they beat us because Joker hit a 3 at the end of the third quarter that he just chucked up off his back leg, behind his head with seconds going down. So that's 3 points right there. And then the very next possession for them to start the fourth quarter, Murray shoots off of one leg and LeBron is hounding him and he hits that shot. Okay. And we lose, right?
Perfect.
Perfectly sums it up.
So, with all that said, moral victories, right? Gotta love them. Because I said the same thing for the Warriors. How many games do we win on the road? 11. How come the excuse does not work?
Because you won the championship.
Blair, you got bailed out by the trade deadline. We got you your players. We got you your shooters. What y'all doing getting swept? It's the same thing. Thank you, Blair, for saying that. We won 11 games on the road. We had the kiss of death. Draymond's out here punching folks. They literally said it broke the chemistry. How come we can't use that same excuse? We wasn't supposed to be there either. Blair.
Yes, you were, City.
Blair, how? We won 11 games.
You have
and we riding in with the same folks. Yes.
Bingo. You have the exact same team.
But our team is fractured. That's what I'm saying.
Poole isn't the same.
Because he got slapped.
He got punched.
That's what I'm saying. So we wasn't supposed to be there either. We could not figure out how to win a game on the road. And y'all wanted us to win a championship?
As defending champions.
How many people have gone back to back? People don't go back to back every year. That's hard to do. So yes, I'm just saying, Blair, the Lakers gonna have your moral victory. We gonna have our moral victory. No, they did not. Not to win. No, they did not. Not to win the championship. Not even to beat the Lakers, Blair.
No,
we was underdogs.
Because even you,
Blair, I know because the dude came in my chat. We was talking money.
Hang on.
We were talking money line the whole time.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're saying that the Warriors were underdogs against the Lakers?
Yes.
Sydney, no.
The odds, Blair. I looked it up.
Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, a talking head.
Hang on, Tim Legler.
I'm talking about Vegas odds. I'm talking about Vegas odds.
Well, yeah, Vegas had.
Stephen A. Smith said last year we was about to repeat. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith. Okay, and
I just named 2, but I can still name 7 more.
I'm talking about Vegas odds, the plus minus.
Outside of the Vegas odds.
Right? That's all I'm talking about.
Vegas odds had us favorites to win the whole thing. To win the whole thing. But that's because they like LeBron.
That's not my fault. Yes, Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to Stephen A. Yeah, he's in down.
Stephen A. is what I'm saying though, Sydney.
Legs, yeah, he liked the Warriors.
I can't stand legs.
What did Perk say? What did Nick Wright say? What did we going on and on?
Only 2.
No, that's
not
not true.
That stayed 10 toes.
That stayed 10 toes down. Okay. Stephen A. stayed 10 toes down. Like Blair, you had your moral victory. We gonna have ours. You sat here and spat out all yours. Y'all got better at the trade deadline. Y'all had a better shot. When y'all got the trades, y'all's little odds shot through the roof. So Blair, do not play. We rode in with the same people we rode in at the beginning of the year. Our team was fractured. We had a punch in the face that severed it. We couldn't figure it out. We won 11 home games. Somehow we dragged our behinds, beat Sac. Woo! They didn't want us to beat Sac. They dang sure didn't want us to get that Sac. And you know it. But somehow we did. And look, y'all can have your little excuses, so do we. So look, I saw those comments like, we wasn't even supposed to be here anyway. I started dying laughing because neither was the Warriors, and we sure got there. And we got 2 games. But anyway, Blair, anything else on the sports before we wrap? Go.
What I was going to say was...
I'm just laughing.
I genuinely never said nothing about your squad at any point in time. So I was just like, and it's not really.
But
it's not really that it's out of pocket, right? But it's just like when we hit down 0-3, you gonna come out of nowhere, right? And ain't said nothing to none of us about basketball all postseason, and was like, hang on, no, and was just like, where y'all at? Noel, you on life support over there? What's going on?
First of all, no life support.
You did. I don't mean real life support, but
I said, Noel, you good.
You going through it or something.
You good. Noel, you good. Because shout out to Noel who FaceTime the whole family talking about how, the Lakers once they beat the Warriors. So I had to answer a FaceTime call once we was bounced.
No, but nobody still never said
that. Then shout out to Marcus sending little skits. Blair.
Then why we can't send the RDC World?
Then what are you complaining about that I said? Noel, you good? Question mark.
You said more than that, Sydney. You know that. Yeah,
we're going to it right now.
Check the tape. Do what you got to do.
We're going to it right now. Blair, you said I was disrespecting the Lakers. Join us in Cancun.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I said, hang on. What am I saying right now? I said, I told you, Sid trolling. Yup. She want to respond once we down 0-3. Oh, we can ready to get swept. Look, I still say Lakers in 7. Hang on.
And I agreed. I said, but LeBron can pull some magic. Doubtful, but he can do it. Yeah, y'all was sending funny skits. Let's go to the skits. Let's go to the skits.
You still scrolling over the stuff, but yeah.
What am I scrolling over, Blair? It's here. Blair's literally making up stuff. Okay, so we'll continue this. We'll go down. Nah, it was all funny when the Warriors got bounced.
Thank you. Nobody said nothing.
So can I go? So can I go to when we got down? First of all, did we not FaceTime?
Noel
yes, we did.
Called.
So correct.
But
check.
Noel didn't even know you liked the Warriors, though.
Check. But we still had a call about it, though.
But she didn't know you liked the Warriors.
Blair. Then here y'all go. Here go to RDC.
Sydney, RDC World, I always send though. That's just...
So Blair's sending the jokes on Stephen A. Smith, the joke when he said we're going back to back. This is what Blair sent.
Let's turn
it up. Let's turn it up. Because Blair didn't send no jokes, y'all.
That's not a joke.
Then what is this?
Play the first video first.
What is it? If it's not a joke of me, then what is it? Okay, sorry. So if this is not an excuse, then what is this? But let's let it play. Let's let it play. This is what Blair sent. But this is not a joke. He's just sending me Stephen A. Smith talking about. He's sending me. But hold on. He's sending me Stephen A. Smith talking about the Warriors going back to back.
Yeah.
For what reason? But it's not a joke.
Play.
But here we go.
Very clear. Ain't no way in hell the Los Angeles Lakers are beating the Golden State Warriors.
So this is after we got bounced. So why? But here's Eric. Shout out to Eric. Send them back up to the Bay. Beat what they talking about. But they didn't talk trash to me. That beat what they talking about. Go back to the Bay. That's not trash. That's something sweet to say. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go. He mad. Eric talking smack all season. Marcus. LOL. Here goes Blair. They mad. Every time I would turn on the TV, it was always something about to say the Lakers was no good. Then, see, Warriors fans, Marcus, not even at work today. Blair, the dynasty ends. But this is not trash. This is nothing. This is all just good stuff. A lot of them are about to go missing. That's Blair. Eric, all caps. Bye. Marcus, yo, I noticed Sid ain't active. Come out of hiding. So then I'm going with my moral victory like Blair so eloquently broke down for us. Talking about, I said, well, we won 11 games on the road. We wasn't even supposed to get out the first round. Then, now we got the jokes.
I know what y'all finna say.
Shout out to Supreme Dreams. Then, just remember, you said we had no chance to beat them. You thought you had but here you go quoting it. You thought you had a brother. It's just you. You were only child. Just joking on the video. That's you quoting it. So I'm seeing a lot.
So
y'all would agree?
Go. Let me go. All right. So I'm notorious for sending RDC World videos, right? I send it to mom. I send it to dad. I just find it funny that they're able to break down videos. You already know they got one cooking right now for LeBron getting swept. Now, I just want to say that when I sent you that is strictly receipts because I was tired of going on YouTube or watching Sports Center or watching something and all I hear is Warriors this. It's more about the Warriors.
Okay, so send it to Stephen A. DM it to Stephen A. Smith. What you sending it to me for? But go ahead.
Right. So it's the Warriors this, the Warriors that. Oh, the Warriors are just playing bad. That's the only reason why the Lakers are winning, right? The Lakers aren't the better team. The Warriors are just struggling, right? I'm hearing all of that, right? So then when the videos come out, I'm sending them, right? Because I'm like, yo, check the tape. They were saying the Warriors, was no way the Warriors is gonna win, right? So then now it's just like the Lakers won. It's like, now where's everybody at? Nobody has nothing to say about it now? That's really what it is? So that's all it was. I was just putting it out there, right? It has nothing to do with you. I understand, your squad lost, right? So I'm not really trying to make fun of you, right? And when I'm saying that, I don't mean you specifically. I'm just like, where are the actual Warrior fans at?
But just to say, whatever, that might be the case, but just sending it like that with no context. Hey, by the way, Sydney, this is just because the world was disrespecting the Lakers.
You really need me to break that down for you?
Blair, if we just got sweat like you and I'm sending a bunch of sweet videos talking about, man, what you gonna think? I'm trolling.
Sydney.
So I'm coming back with the same energy y'all gave me. So then here's what I said. Y'all go down 0-3. Looks like ain't no team came back from 0-3. So I'm like, dang, y'all good? Now I'm trolling. I was really trying to talk about the fours. I don't wear fours. Sydney's just trolling. I'm literally responding to a post from Eric talking about some shoes. Now, how am I trolling talking about some shoes?
You know you was trolling, Sydney.
Talking about a shoe that he sent to the group. First of all, who's always active on the group? Me. You don't. But somehow the Lakers just woke you up. Now all of a sudden you got stuff to say. Blair don't respond to the group, period. Lakers win. Oh, RDC World. Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Oh, let's not talk about no shoes. Let's hop on a FaceTime. That's what you was doing.
I didn't start.
So I'm just saying, just keep that same energy. So then when I came out, all I said, and I'm giving Bron props. I'm saying he might be able to do something. He is the GOAT. And my one thing was, Noelle, you good? Question mark. Noelle's still missing, dog. She fighting for her life in Texas.
See, that's what I said. I said fighting for your life.
Yeah. That's after all the videos of what I had to sit through. Okay. So, yep, I'm just saying. I did y'all how y'all did me. But like I said, heartbreak feels good in a place like this because at least we didn't go out like the Lakers. We got 2 games. Oh, here we go.
And you stuff it right.
And his squad's about to get swept too. He's a Celtics fan. He's getting swept.
Hey, the
tomorrow.
Celtics about to get the same fate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just wait till
And
the
his
Celtics.
squad is losing by 30.
Yeah, Celtics getting whooped on.
At
It's
least we were
embarrassing.
winning every single game and we just didn't close out. That's a big difference.
No, the Celtics
Right?
are
That's
getting embarrassed.
at least something you can take away from it.
100%. The Celtics are getting embarrassed. Yeah, it's bad. It's not good. But shout out to the Heat and the Nuggets. They was the best this season. Blair, anything else before we kind of wrap up on the sports topics?
Go Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, let's go Jimmy Buckets, Timothy Buckets. Cause yeah, I can't see me root for the Nuggets. I don't know. But I guess they out west, so I don't know. But anyway. Man, good segment. We might make that its own little episode. But let's get into the reason why we're here. We're reviewing 2 movies today. I want to start with Fast X. While I pull this up.
Wait, what 2 movies are we reviewing?
Did you see Fast X?
Yeah.
And Covenant.
What's the cover? Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw
Okay,
it.
all
It's
right,
just
cool,
been,
cool.
it's
But it
been
has.
a little
It's
bit.
been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But we got to touch on that one because, I mean, I texted you all you needed to know about that one. But we'll get into that when we get there. We're going to start with Fast X or Fast 10. Not sure what it is because there's been so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Dom Toretto and his family are targeted by the vengeful son of drug kingpin Hernan Reyes. Do we even need to go who it's starring? Obviously, Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Jason Statham, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Natalie Emmanuel, Charlize Theron, John Cena, Helen Mirren, Brie Larson, Scott Eastwood, Jason Momoa, and just so many more.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, they said that if all these A-listers got equal screen time, the movie would have been 4 hours long.
I believe it.
They got too many.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, initial thoughts, Blair.
It was about to be a mess. It was about to be doing way too much.
Oh, the movie, you mean?
Yeah, you said my initial
No,
thoughts.
I thought you meant getting there or something. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought it was about to just be absurd. Just its act.
Did you like the one before? Because we reviewed it. Did you give it a good rating?
I doubt it.
Okay. The one where it was actually in space, remember?
Yeah, I'm at that point where, man, the first 3 to 4 were cool because it was believable, right? So my initial thoughts going into it was just man, what are they about to do now, right? It's just going to be way too crazy. Mm-hmm. But Sydney said, let's go watch it, so let's go watch it. That literally was my initial thoughts.
Yeah. No, agreed. I mean, you know what you're getting when you watch a Fast and Furious movie these days. It's gotten so off track and off topic. Mm-hmm. We went from Paul Walker being a cop, trying to arrest Toretto, to now they're somehow the Avengers.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He literally caught a car in one movie.
Man.
What is this? This stuff is ridiculous. So we knew what we were getting into it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and trash it. They do entertain us. Mm-hmm. So I was at least I'll be entertained. But yeah, you kind of know what you get. I was we're going to get literally every celebrity in America in this movie, and it's going to be entertaining, but also it's going to be come on.
Yeah.
But before we actually, let's get into something positive first. So positive, Blair, of the movie.
Cars were fire.
The cars, okay. Is that it? Or?
Yeah. You asked me for the positive.
Go ahead, not just the cars. Go ahead.
The cars was dope.
Maybe they're getting back to their roots, because there was a race in this one.
There was a race in this one, right? I like seeing basically the cars. I really don't have a lot of positives about the movie. The cars was dope.
The cars was the cars.
The cars. It was entertaining. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting. You sit down, you get in and watch. Like I said, you get ready to watch absurdity, and so it was fun. It was fun to kind of watch that, right?
We may have to do. I'm sorry, because there is something that I need to talk about on this film, so we may have to do a spoiler. But I'll warn you before we get there.
Okay.
But go ahead.
So
I'm just dying. Go.
What else? Man, just it's cool, the scenery and stuff like that. There was some cool shots in there, right? Cinematically it was there, right? Really good production. Mm-hmm. Definitely high budget. You most certainly can tell, right?
$5 billion.
Cool seeing like, how much? What?
I don't know. I just guessed $5 billion.
I was like, what?
Well, what they gotta pay these actors to do say four lines.
For real. But I mean, the money is gonna make its money back. So
shout out to the WGA. We on strike.
It's all good,
I said we on strike. Shout out to the WGA.
I ain't on strike for nothing.
Yeah, if you want to hire,
call me. You want me to go to work tomorrow? I'll go to work.
You get fired at the picket lines. I'm just look.
Picket line. It is what it is. I ain't got no dog in this fight. Call me if you need me. Now years go by and we doing our thing, and that's a different story, right? But yeah, I ain't on strike. So yeah, but I mean that honestly that's that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Some of the action sequences were pretty cool as well. So I mean, it's essentially to summarize it, right? Like action, cool, entertainment, cool, cars, cool, scenery, cool, the relationship and the banter and stuff between the friends and stuff, really cool. But, I mean, that's really about as far as I can necessarily go. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just another run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, I think this is going to be, like, one of the few times where I, don't note the cast as, a positive. Because I'm just, I'm so tired of this, but I'll get into that when we get to the cons. But for me, positive is just going to be the storyline, I guess. The whole thing about, family he said it 47 times a movie. Ooh, so man. I mean, that being his whole thing, and then that kind of being stripped away from him in this movie, I guess makes for a good storyline. Choosing family, which one to choose, save the son. The storyline was cool. How everything's kind of interconnected. We went back 10 years to the movie before where they was dragging a safe around, and we saw how.
Again, absurd, but yeah.
And they kill 3,000 pedestrians a day, But yeah, we just see how everything is connected. So now he's coming up you killed my father. I got vengeance. Death is something not enough when suffering is owed, or whatever they kept saying, that kind of thing. So I guess the storyline is the only positive for me. I don't really care about cars, so I can't say cars. But they did go back to their roots and give us a race, so that was cool, and it was entertaining to say the least. You're not gonna be in there bored. So
yeah, 100%,
entertainment and storyline is the only things for me.
Okay.
Blair, cons. Let's get into it.
Oof. Okay.
Do I hear a rant coming?
Man, so I'm at this point now with this film where they gotta let it die, right? But the problem is that they've also told us they're riding it till the wheels fall off. Right, but the thing is that once you see a check that comes from it, you're like, we gotta do another, right? And then you see another check that comes from it, and you're like, you gotta do another. And so they continuously do it, right? And so they keep riding it out where it's just they're molesting the film. It's absolutely absurd. And so now we're sitting here, right? And the stories that continue to come about are ridiculous, right? They're okay, so this man comes back into my life because 15 years ago, I saved him from him getting jumped by this gang when we were in high school together, right? So now he owes me, so he's going to go on this mission with me, right? And we're going to go and do this. And you're just huh? This is what we're digging up. This is the story, right? And then a bad guy comes out of nowhere, right? Mm-hmm. So, because you killed my dad 15 years ago, now I need redemption. So here's what I'm gonna do, right? And so I'm gonna try to destroy the world in the process to get revenge on you because this is what you did to my dad 15 years ago. And then now when they're on the process of deciding or when they're in the process of trying to save the world, they're calling on people for help because they're man, I always remember you growing up. You always just had that smile, and now look at you. You just got the spitting image of your sister, right? It's just you keep bringing all of these stories out of nowhere where you're just stop it, right? I get it. You're trying to find another way to make another film, but we're at this point where it's just way too much, right? And so the action is so absurd now for me as well because it is no longer believable. And I get it that that's what we're trying to do at this point, but because I have been old enough to have seen the first Fast and the Furious come out and be a kid, right? And it was all about cars and racing, and then some things what else would transpire, right? But to turn them into now, they're basically the Avengers is ridiculous, right? We're having cars jump off of a cliff and then ride down a ramp, you know, and then it like crashes into the water, and then you don't even see them struggle to get out of the car as it's sinking to the bottom of the ocean, right? And then, you know, they're jumping off another cliff to like hit a building, which is then supposed to shift the car, right? And then they're like gassing it while it's floating in air, so then it's kind of allowing it to then turn itself around and then go back onto the surface, right? Mm-hmm. To stop something, right? Like, it's just, we have gotten so far gone that like they're in space, right? They're catching cars with their hands, where you're just like, guys, you know what?
Yep. I mean, what? I 100% agree.
What? Where are we at?
Yeah.
You know, this is filmmaking, right? This is literally just money grabs at this point, mm-hmm. right? There is no art. You know, there is nothing to take away from this, and I like to always. I like to always think about
family's the lesson, but yeah.
Yes, I get it. Family's the lesson, right? But the way I like to look at life is like, we're all here living on this planet, right? And you have X amount of years, and when it's all said and done, right? When I say I'm 85, 90, and some 3-year-olds come into the world, and I try to summarize what I think the world is, right? And I name a few things, right? So like, you know, you name like Michael Jordan in basketball, right? You name like Obama for president, right? You kind of like try to summarize what my whole life was and all of these like memorable moments that happened, right? I want to be able to name certain films that you feel like will transcend life and go on, right, where you're like, man, when you look at film, man, 2001 Space Odyssey, you may not have loved it, but man, that is filmmaking at its finest, right? You can't even talk about Fast X in that same sentence. That's my issue, where it's like, and I know that that's not what they're trying to make, but we have just gotten to this point where it's like, you're throwing out budgets of $265 million to make this movie, and it's just like, man, there's so many great films out there that have not been found. There's so many great films out there that are going through the process of being worked on, right? There's so many great films that won't even get greenlit because for them, they don't see the cash within it, right? When you don't realize that real stuff lasts, when you don't realize that, you know, people still want to see these great films, you just have to take the chance and make it, right? So that's when it becomes my issue. So you're like, man, we got to watch this because we got to review it. And I'm just like, dang, all right, like, let's do it, you know, because that's what we're trying to do, right? Like, we see life past where we're at right now, and we're trying to go somewhere, so we're trying to do something. So yeah, like, of course, you knew I was getting ready to get on a rant with this film, but yeah, the film's bad. Yeah, you know, it's bad, but you know, what'd you expect? You know, I didn't expect anything good coming from it.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
they riding until the wheels fall off, and the wheels ain't falling off no time soon. Unless everyone sits down and says, we ain't about to watch another. But they're not doing that. Because the theater was packed when I went, and it was almost 11 o'clock. On a random Sunday.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I mean, all your cons are my cons as well. I'm just tired of, like, the star-studded cast. Like, are people just like buying to be in this movie to say one line to get the check? Like, can we relax?
They be coming out of nowhere,
like,
right?
So they bring Brie Larson in. Oh, she's Scott Eastwood's sister and another one of Mr. Nova. Like, for what?
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what drag out story.
But what did she bring to this movie?
Nothing. But that's just another storyline that I keep saying.
Helen Mirren being the mom was like, for what? Like,
yeah.
So he can make good with his brother, John Cena. Like, for what?
Yeah.
I'm just so tired of it. I'm like, just let the movie die. Don't just keep adding more people so we gonna want to see it.
I know.
They added the hacker Ramsey, Natalie Emanuel, and now all of a sudden she a fighter now. Like, she can throw hands now. Like, it's just like it gets more and more crazy throughout, and they're just stretching this thing. There's no more order. There's no more backstory because all they're gonna do is give you a flashback that they made up when they was writing the new film. They just gonna make their narrative work no matter what. We want to bring in Denzel Washington, so let's go in. They was up for adoption. They stayed with a black family, and Denzel was the father. That's what they're gonna do next. So they're just gonna keep making their narrative work, and it's like, okay, enough is enough. Like, They, mind you, like, shout out to Paul Walker, but they still haven't really killed him off.
No,
in his
because
movie.
he was in the film.
So, but it also makes no sense. Like, they just keep referring to him, oh, he's on vacation, he's with the kids. Like, okay, but he's a main fighter and main driver, and they just keep acting like, oh, he's taking a nap. Like, no, we're tired of it. Yeah. So, I mean, my thing is just like the extremeness of everything and you know, adding to this cast and it just dragging it out, basically. Like, we're done with the franchise. Like, the franchise is over. I mean, I can't even really remember the last good one. I mean, I want to say Tokyo Drift, but it was more about, like, I mean, the main people weren't even really in Tokyo Drift. That was mainly Bow Wow and then the guy from Friday Night Lights. Like, I guess, but I am going to go over some of, like, the top rated ones. But I do want to first get into, Blair, did you have any more cons?
Yeah, last thing I wanted to really add is never underestimate your audience, right? Woody Allen used to always say your audience is smarter than what you think that they are, right? So when you're writing a film, just do what you do and don't over-explain, right? Because the audience knows how to put two and two together, right? So what makes a good film is you're supposed to send people like somewhat through a journey, right? And you can slowly figure things out as it goes, right? And at the midpoint, you'll have like this like big blow up scene, right? And things like that. But I say that to say that within 5 minutes of the film, you have Vin Diesel doing a whole soliloquy talking about family. We're not done. We just watched a whole barbecue of the first 5 minutes of the film. We know the importance of family to you, right? We just saw that, right? Then,
I'm surprised this one didn't end with a barbecue because that's like their signature sign out, ain't it?
But here's the thing.
But that's because they wasted our time and left us on a cliffhanger. They sat us in that theater for 2.5 hours and didn't end the movie.
They're in the
just
middle
to
of the
spoil
action.
it for you. It didn't end.
It's in the middle of the action. Yeah, it like blew up and was still going down, and they basically said cue the credits. Like, what? We're not done. But anyways, right? So our audience already 5 minutes in understands the importance of family in this film, and you're already on the soapbox preaching about family. You didn't have to. We saw it, right? Then 15 minutes in, man, you know family is everything. Yes, you told us 10 minutes ago family is everything. Why are you telling me at 15 minutes, right? Show me with action, right? You can reveal with dialogue issues and flashbacks, right? You reveal that through dialogue, right? But you want to I want to see that family is everything for you, right? So I want to see you ride or die for your family. And in this film they do that, but what the problem is that so many times he just keeps going, man, you know that family is yeah. How many more times do you want to tell me that? How many more times do you want to tell me, right? Like, it's just like you're overwriting.
Yeah.
Cut the dialogue.
Yeah, another con for me too is like obviously length 2.5 hours. Like, don't want to be in there. But Jason Momoa was whack. Did you like it? I was like, I'm like, enough with the antics, bro. He was like,
I thought he was trying to be different, like on.
But you know what
purpose,
he was trying to do? He was trying to do Heath Ledger, like in the Joker.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like all the like, you know how he was trying to do it, but he didn't execute it like Heath Ledger did. I feel like he was doing a bad like Heath Ledger and the Joker impression the whole time. Like,
I wasn't
trying to, with all the extra, like, bro, shut up and just blow it up. Like, we done.
See, I was thinking that he was trying to be somewhat of like a gender neutral character in today's society where it kind of fits, right? Where everyone is struggling with their identity and who they really are, right? And you can watch this film and kind of see yourself, you know, because he was doing a lot of the stuff where he was dressing up like a female, right? And he had the feminine traits in the way he would carry himself, right? So that's more or less what I saw. Is I was like, okay, they're trying to be more inclusive with everybody with this film. So that's what I saw. I never once thought Heath Ledger, right? So I was just like, you know, go ahead, do your thing, you know, right? Try to execute it to the best.
All like the mannerisms, it was just like enough. Dude.
Yeah, but my thing is
he was
that,
annoying. But
but my thing is that it doesn't work with this film because this film is a joke, right? So like when you're trying to make a statement like that, it doesn't stick because you don't take the film serious enough. So it's like, why even insert that? That's not the type of film, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It was whack. But anyway, one thing I did want to say, spoiler wise, that kind of is with my cons and the fact that they keep adding to this cast. You know, they just brought back Gal Gadot. We saw the lady get blown up, so they brought her back at the end, just like they brought Han back when he died, literally died.
The Rock back in the credits.
The Rock, but he didn't die. Like,
no, but I mean, they brought him out in the credits. She was like,
but I'm just saying, like, these people literally lost their lives. That's his whole backstory, is mourning Gal Gadot's character. Because remember, they was together. Yeah. So they just like, well, what does this movie need? We got Brie, we got Charlize. Let's add Gal Gadot. Like, so they gonna bring her back, just like they brought Han back, because Mr. Nobody can make things look like they didn't happen or whatever. So he just waves his little magic wand, and now she's back. It's just like, enough. Like, I saw that, I literally was like,
so here we go.
Here we go, part 2. And then the fact that the movie didn't even end is another huge one. And sorry for the spoiler, but yeah, it doesn't end. It literally just ends with his kid maybe or maybe not dying, and then
they were in the middle of the action. I told you, he's looking over the dam. The plane, the car had crashed. They got out of the water, and the credits roll. No. I'm like, they're literally smack dab. And
they didn't tell us this is. They didn't even tell us this is a part 1 or nothing.
But I mean, it clearly is, because he has.
But no, like at least with like the new Mission Impossible, it says part 1 underneath. They was like, this is a complete movie. I was really like, oh, they want us to come back.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Hey.
So then that makes me ask you, do you think, what's his name still alive? John Cena, you think he's still alive?
Oh yeah, he gonna roll out, dust his little shoulders off, and he's like, all right, let's go.
I was wearing a fire suit, you know.
You think that
it actually ignites, right, and it puts the fire out.
Yeah, see the little bomb car that I was building. Yeah. You think his agent is gonna let him not get a piece of this pie?
Yeah.
No, they negotiating contracts right now as we speak.
Yeah.
But on that note, let's get into the ratings, and I want to get into some of the ratings of the other Fast and Furious movies. On Rotten Tomatoes, 54%. So pretty bad. But in 86,
that's high.
54.
That's high.
It's rotten.
That's still too
But
high.
Then let me go into the audience score of 86. So the audience loved it, and then on IMDb, it was a 6.7. So the audience thoroughly kind of enjoyed this. But the critics said it's rotten.
Yeah.
But let's get into the only rating that matters. That is the Slate rate. Blair, 1 to 5 entertainment. Now you got to give it some love. Go!
I'm thinking. I'm trying to be genuine here.
I'm genuine with mine. I know what I'm going to go.
3.
3? Okay. 1 to 5 entertainment, for me, it's a 4. And it has to be, because it's not boring.
Yeah.
It's a 3. Originality, 1 to 5.
0.
Wait, can we do 0? Are we allowing zeros?
0.
Okay. For me,
the stars are great. There's not a single piece of gold in that star.
For
0.
me, I'm gonna go originality. I mean, they had some weird.
How's it original, Sydney? How?
I don't know.
They're dragging a dead horse.
Yeah, I'm going to, and that's generous.
Man, you got this.
I'm going to, I guess,
that's crazy.
For a bomb car and some things I haven't seen.
That's crazy. You got that film at a 6.
I have it at a 6 out of 10. I think that's pretty fair. Blair, you have it at a 3. That's it. But don't go see this movie. I mean, unless you just want to see more Fast.
They're making money already.
Look, unless you want to see more Fast, more Furious, then go watch it. If you just a fan of the franchise, I'll say.
Yeah.
But if you want to be entertained or engaged in the storyline, don't go see this. Mm-hmm. But one quick thing before we move into our next movie. This is ranked by the whole franchise ranked by the highest rating.
Okay.
So number 1 is Fast 5 with a 7.3. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Fast 5 was okay, because that's when they went to I don't know, somewhere with the Vatican. I don't, they went to Brazil, okay? That was that one. I think that was pretty good. Then 2 is Fast 7 with the 7.1. Fast and Furious 6 is number 3 with the 7.0. The Fast and the Furious is number 4 with the 6.8. The Fate of the Furious is 5 with a 6.6. Number 6 is Fast and Furious, 6.5. All these titles sound the same, by the way. Number 7 is Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. That was terrible. They didn't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6.5. Number 8 is The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, 6.0. That's our favorite, probably. Number 9 is Too Fast, Too Furious, and that's at a 5.9. I think that might be the kind of one we quote where it's like I said, we hungry, right?
Yeah.
That's Too Fast, Too Furious, and that was with the Ejectocito,
Yeah.
all those kind of lines. So I think that is probably my favorite, and that's shocking that it's at the bottom of the list.
That's crazy. That.
But what does it say about
Fast and the Furious? Is at 6?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
What does that say about us? That the one we kind of like is 5.9. That we have taste.
I think that the people. I guess the people like the absurdity.
But we like. I think what we loved the most about it was like the racing and then the nods.
Yeah.
We was like intrigued by like how that sped up the car. Like,
oh, for sure.
So it was more about that than they essentially turned into the Avengers. But number 10 is Fast 9, the Fast Saga, which was dumb, and it's a 5.2.
But see, wait, let me see. But that's everyone liking, like I said, the absurdity.
Yeah, because then tell us that these people are the Avengers then.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
If we're going to go with this whole thing of they're now superheroes, then tell us that. Yeah. Tell us it's the Guardians of the Galaxy presents the Fast and the Furious. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Because that's basically what they are. They went from literally criminals and one undercover agent selling, DVDs or stealing DVDs, whatever their heist was in the first one, to now saving the state of the world and being recruited by the FBI. Crazy. Life comes at you fast, though, don't it? But anyways, Blair, anything else on the Fast and the Furious, Fast X, Fast 10, whatever it's called? No? All right, well, we are good to move on. Without further ado, let's get into The Covenant. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. You see? While I pull that up, Blair, initial thoughts on Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Man. I wasn't really sure because I hadn't seen a trailer. I saw like a poster, and I thought just based off of the poster that it was interesting. And I wasn't, I was just like, you said you wanted to see it, and I was just like, okay. Well, I know that in the past, Guy Ritchie had really brought some heat. Right, and he's all about filmmaking and cinema, and just really trying to make like a great film that people 50 years from now will still want to watch, right? So I was like, well, he gets my trust, right? So I'm like, okay, like let's go check this out.
Yeah. Real quick, it is called Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. The synopsis is, during the war in Afghanistan, a local interpreter risks his own life to carry an injured sergeant across miles of grueling terrain. It is starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim. It is written and directed by Guy Ritchie himself. For me, the initial thoughts, I had seen the trailer and I had seen all the hype around the movie. The minute I saw the trailer, I was like, definitely watching that. Gave me some, what's that one movie? That one spy movie, or not spy movie, but war movie. I forget, but it had won Oscar about the people that disarmed the bombs in Afghanistan.
I don't know if I saw that movie.
By Catherine Bigelow. Yes, you did. Everyone saw that movie.
How do you know I saw it? I just said maybe I didn't see it.
See, now I gotta look it up.
How do you know I saw it?
I think you did.
Oh, now you went from knowing to thinking. I'm telling you, I probably haven't because it doesn't sound familiar.
But you know the name. It's huge. It was a huge film. Now I gotta look it up. The Hurt Locker. It's The Hurt Locker.
Yeah, see, I didn't see it.
But you heard of it.
Yeah.
So you know the movie.
Because it won like Best Picture or something.
I literally just said that, but yeah. Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear that. It did though. It was like.
Let's turn it up. Let's turn this up.
14 or something.
But yes, no. It gave me Hurt Locker vibes, so I definitely wanted to see it. And I'll pretty much watch anything with Jake Gyllenhaal in it. One of my favorite actors. So yeah, I was in for it.
I feel like he's like the most reviewed person on this podcast.
We have done a lot of his movies, haven't we?
Yeah.
What was the last one we did? Well, it's not our fault. He's in everything.
Yeah.
He's
just
he's a wanted man in Hollywood. But again, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim. Let's get right into it then. Let's jump in. Blair, pros. Let's start with the good.
Entertaining. Very, 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 very good use of suspense.
100%.
They know how to pick their spots to really have people kind of on the edge of their seat and kind of wondering, are they going to get to their destination and make it out alive, right? You seem to lose your way in the process of the film, right? You know how if you watch enough movies, you kind of know the process and how things go, right? And when you're really good, you know how to make people forget that there is this whole process, right? And so this film did a very good job of making you forget the process and kind of just getting locked in, and you're just like, you know, they're tugging the strings, and you're just like, man, like get out of there, like, oh man, dang, we lost the nut, like, right? Like it just has you like that. And so this film was very, very, very solid with that, right? With that in mind. Very gritty, right? I want to say, which I did like. You know, you're just like you're at war with another country, and you kind of see their life, and you're just like, man, you know, you're blessed to live in the United States, right? Where, you know, it's like a luxury, right? Because, you know, you think about them and people like over there are waking up every day and bombs are going off, right? You might step on like a landmine and blow up on your way to school. I don't know, right? Like life is just crazy out there. And so you kind of get this sense of like, man, that's people's everyday reality, right? And so that's what I really like about this film and just film in general, is like when people are really able to create entertainment but also shed light on like what people really are going through or what somebody did experience for a specific moment in time, whether it's like 2 minutes or 2 days, right? And so I like how they were able to tell this story on how like it was like day one to I forget how many days it was, but just this whole journey of like basically being resilient, you know, is the word that I want to use, where this man basically saved another man's life, but he didn't just save it for just like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna step in front of a bullet for you and get shot. Like, no, we were in enemy territory, and I had to get you out of enemy territory somehow, some way. But I can't drive, right? And I can't fly, and I gotta walk, and you can't walk. And we're talking about you gotta go 30 miles, and you're being hunted. I mean, man, you want to talk about good filmmaking? The stakes are incredibly high, right? You know, sometimes films aren't really good because the stakes aren't high enough. Like what I just said to you sounds impossible. So the fact that anyone makes it out of it is just like, man, if you did, I mean, man, God was with you. You know, so just you know, solid film. You know, definitely felt real. Was just, you know, kept me on the edge of my seat. Like I said, just, you know, thoroughly entertained. You know, kept wanting more. Yeah, just good filmmaking.
No, I agree. Off top, I texted you that this is probably the best movie of 2023. So that just lets you know how.
You mean so far, though, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I can't control what comes out. But yeah, that's like literally where my mind was after seeing it. I was like, okay, this is probably the best film I've seen so far this year. Everything, I mean, I second everything you said. The intensity of it, literally you're on the edge of your seat. You're very uncomfortable throughout the movie because you're like, okay, is someone getting shot? They open it with the bomb exploding. Like, you kind of knew it was going to happen, so you're waiting for it, but you don't know quite when it's going to happen. So everything is on 100. Kind of just like the Hurt Locker, like I was saying, where it was just like everything was super intense. Every move they make is could either, you know, kill them. You know, and then the fact that they told this story like and we know about the war in Afghanistan, but the fact that they told it from like an outsider's perspective, giving it like how, or like saying it from how the interpreter felt, is something I didn't expect with the movie. I was like, dang, like he's seen as a traitor just because he wants, a visa for his family to get to, to get to America. So now he's just a traitor. They have him as a marked wanted man. He's number one on the kill list. So how much they risk just to interpret for us during those times, and just how crazy, like Blair said, how crazy the stakes were. Like, the storyline is phenomenal. Like, the fact that it happened is another, crazy point to it. And it's typical us Americans willing to just leave him. You're like, oh, it's his problem now. So I'm glad that, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, took that journey to get him to safety, because he did sacrifice his life. But I really like because we always see everything from the Americans' angle, and to see it from, this guy's perspective, and, him just trying to get the job done, because, what that country was, or what that regime was doing to their country, it just made, it was made for a great film.
And then briefly, I do want to say the best thing that I like, that I realized that I left out, is the overall message, right? And so the overall message really is just like, if you give your word, right, you got to stand by that. And so Jake Gyllenhaal is all about honor, and so he's like, look, this man saved my life, and what did we say we would do? If you protect us, you get a visa. He saved my life. Now I've been brought back to America, and I'm back in the comforts of my home where I'm safe every single day, but it's eating away at me because I continue to think about a man who's left there for dead and is essentially the most wanted man in that country, right? And they want him simply for saving my life, right? But I didn't keep my end of the bargain, because he is not a free man right now, right? But it eats at you as a man, especially as a man, right? Because you kind of build yourself off of principle, and your principle is whatever it is that you choose to have it be, right? And so for him, it's just like I said, it's just like, I always have to follow through, right? And so for me, film like a film like this resonates within the message, because that's just something that I feel like I would be wanting to do, right? Like, if I give you my word that I'm going to do something, if I do not follow through, it will kill me as long as I'm still alive. You know what I mean? And so when I watch something like that, I'm like, you got to go. Like, when it was his first day back, I was like, oh, you good, right? Like, once he kind of got out of the hospital and stuff, I was like, you better be on the first flight.
Yeah, exactly.
You got work to do. Exactly. He's not in America, right? Like, and and then you obviously have the whole dynamic where he has his family, and his family's not wanting him to go, but it's like, when he obviously got with his girl, she knew how he was wired, right? And so she already knew there was nothing that she was going to be able to say to convince him, right? Because, like I said, it's principle. I gotta go. So that was so solid for me.
And then another thing also, just to see how ruthless the Taliban really was, and how crazy they can get once they figure out you a traitor. Man, they was on an all-out hunt. People in their group were flipping and switching teams because they done kidnapped their family. So, like Blair said, the stakes were high the entire movie, and there's just so many positives. But I guess also the fact that this movie is 2 hours, you definitely do not feel it. And we do not say this often. I feel like length is something we always have as a con, and this time it worked. Because you needed to experience that whole journey and feel how long it is and how much he's basically dragging dead weight across the desert trying not to get shot. So it is crazy. Blair, cons. While there's good, there is bad. Maybe not for me though. Yeah, because I
really don't have any.
Yeah, I don't.
It was very enjoyable.
There's no cons to this movie. I was trying to think, and it's absolutely zero. This is a film that you got to see. It's nothing's wrong with it. I really can't.
You know my rating's about to be pretty solid.
Yeah. So with that said, though, let's get into some of the ratings here. Like we said, it is a great film. The Rotten Tomatoes, it's 82% fresh, so that's pretty good. And then a 98% audience score. That's even better. That's all you can really ask for. On IMDb, it is, I believe, a 7.6. So that's also pretty high. I feel like it could be a little bit higher. I mean, they gave Fast X at 6.7, so.
Yeah. Same way.
Exactly. But let's get into the only rating that matters, the Slate rate. Blair, 1 to 5 entertainment.
5.
Yeah, 1 to 5 originality.
Man, I'll go 4.5.
Yeah, again, like it is a true story, so.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't say that it's been done before.
Exactly. All right, so you had it at what, a 9.5 out of 10? 1 to 5 for me on entertainment, obviously easy 5. Haven't given out a 5 in a minute. And then originality, I'm going 5 as well, just because simple fact, I want this thing at a 10 out of 10. Sometimes you just gotta make that sacrifice, but I think it is pretty, original. It's a unique perspective, so. 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. You definitely have to go see this movie. Go see it and witness it in theaters. Don't miss out. It's 2 thumbs up from us. Blair, anything else before we kind of wrap up here? Let us know if you guys like the Slate Laced Sports segment. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to see Sisu sometime this week.
I don't even know what that is.
It's another war film.
Is it out? We got to see John Wick too as well. So we got to.
I see the others, so.
Yeah, we got to keep on that one. Again, those are good, but I'm not really like a John Wick head like that, but they are entertaining. So more movies, more sports. I mean, we're both kind of out the fight with it, but we'll keep it going. And obviously more footwear because I think I got to do an unboxing because I got some stuff. So.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I posted on the Slate Laced, so make sure you're following us at Slate Laced. Yeah.
I think I missed it.
On the story though, on the story.
Okay.
But yeah, we will be back. We come to this place, AMC Theaters. On that note, it is the Slate Laced Gang Week out. Shout out Nicole.